The blood wouldn't stop pooling on the white tile. Bright, indifferent, mine. The nurse wrapped my hand, but her eyes kept drifting back to the monitor. When the doctor entered, he didn't speak. He stared at the screen like it had whispered something obscene. Then he called for others. One by one, they came. 10 white coats, 10 pairs of eyes. No urgency, no panic, just disbelief, thick enough to taste. I sat there in a janitor's uniform that still smelled of bleach, my name stitched crooked on the chest. My pulse drummed in my ears. "This is unusual," the doctor said carefully. He swallowed. "Your blood markers don't match your records. In fact," he paused, then leaned closer, "they match someone else entirely." The room felt smaller. "Sir," he said, lowering his voice, "your DNA shows something impossible. You're related to—" The rest blurred, because in that moment I felt it, the slow click of a lock I never knew existed, finally turning. 2 months earlier, I was an engineer with a corner office and a future I'd built with precision. Then my ex-wife called. Her voice was honeyed, practiced. "Just sign the adjustment," she said. "It's procedural." I didn't even finish reading before HR escorted me out. My accounts froze that afternoon. Every dollar, gone. A civil freeze, courtesy of her new husband's law firm. She texted me a photo that night, her on the yacht, him beside her, a caption underneath, "Enjoy poverty." By morning, I was scrubbing floors in a hospital that smelled like surrender. I didn't scream, I didn't beg, I learned. I watched how money moves when it thinks no one's looking. I watched my ex-wife change, how cruelty fit her better than honesty ever had, how her laugh sharpened, how her eyes never reached the mirror anymore. Then came the call from my son. "Dad, it's Thanksgiving, but, His wife took the phone. "If you want to join, come wash the dishes. We don't do charity tables." I hung up without replying. Some humiliations aren't meant to be answered. They're meant to be remembered. After the ER, I couldn't sleep. I pulled my old laptop from storage, the one I'd kept even when everything else was taken. I ran the blood data through open genomic databases, not expecting much, but the results kept circling one name. A family, Swiss, old money, medical patents, private banks, the same surname that sat embossed on the watch my ex-wife's new husband wore like a crown. Coincidence is a myth people cling to when the truth scares them. I requested my adoption file, sealed for decades. It arrived thin, too thin, pages missing, names redacted, but one note remained. Mother deceased, father unknown, donation through private European program. My hands didn't shake, they went cold. I traced the program, a defunct clinic outside Zurich, a quiet scandal buried under settlements. I compared DNA again. The match was not distant, it was direct. I wasn't related to them, I was from them. The doctor met me after hours. He didn't sit. "Your genome carries a proprietary marker," he said, "one that shouldn't exist outside a specific bloodline." He slid a folder toward me. The Keller family, Swiss, private biotech empire. Their patriarch funded the clinic where your genetic material originated. He paused. "You are his biological son." The room tilted. My ex-wife's new husband, Marcus Keller, wasn't royalty. He married into it. I belonged to it. I thanked the doctor and left before the weight could crush me. Outside, I called my attorney, the one my biological father had unknowingly paid for decades ago, through a trust activated only upon genetic confirmation. By dawn, my accounts thawed. By noon, they multiplied. By evening, I owned a villa overlooking Lake Geneva. Thanksgiving came anyway. My phone buzzed. "Dishes," my daughter-in-law snapped, "or don't come." I sent one message, a photo, sunlight pouring through glass walls, Alps in the distance, my name engraved on a marble gate. No caption. The phone exploded. 71 calls, voicemails cracked with panic, with recognition, with fear. My ex-wife's voice finally broke through. You stole this from us." I smiled. "No," I said calmly. "I reclaimed what you never knew you were renting." Silence. I could almost hear the math collapsing in her head. The lawsuits, the prenup loopholes, the trust clauses she never read. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. I sit on the terrace now, watching the lake absorb the sky. I think about the man I was when I mopped hospital floors, bleeding quietly, invisible. I think about how cruelty always assumes permanence. Power doesn't announce itself. It waits. I didn't destroy her life. I simply stepped out of the shadow she thought she owned. The world feels quieter when you stop begging it to listen. And in that quiet, I finally hear myself. Whole, unreachable, free.